What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Justin, here with Meelz. How many times do you think I've done that exact
I
intro?
don't know. I feel like at this point it's probably soulless, sterile.
No, I
Comes
feel
from a point of just like you're just saying words now, and they
oh
mean nothing at this point.
oh they mean something. I just think that
In
it's
the
funny.
same tone that you do every damn week,
That's what I was gonna say. Like I do it in the same exact tone. I wonder if people
bro.
feel any.
It's rehearsed. Niggas probably just skip past this. They're like, all right, let's get to
Man,
the actual talking. No, but what was I gonna say? You know what I was thinking about today? I was like, damn, we've done this show for a long ass time.
no, man. Like,
I was like, damn, like we listen, man. We do get credit, but I feel like we also don't get enough credit because we literally do the show every damn week.
no breaks.
Every week.
I cannot imagine just saying, you know what? Let's just take a
Let's
break.
not do the show this
Yeah.
week. I've thought about it. I'll be honest with you. I was like, you know what?
I know you have.
Maybe we need to take one of them Usher breaks, or people like, when Usher used to take a break. It's like, damn, I miss Usher. When's Usher coming out with a new album? Um, maybe we need to take an Usher break. It's like, yo, when's the A show coming back? When did they need the game's been missing, because the game is funny right now. The game is podcasting, wrestling podcasting. I feel like we've in the general podcasting space. I feel like we've hit a general thing of like, okay, celebrities are pretty much taking the stranglehold, or like influencers or something along those lines. So I feel like it's harder now to start a podcast and actually grow your following, considering how much there is in the actual space now.
Mhm.
Um, there's so many people talking, unless you're like fresh and fit and just saying outlandish shit and throwing it on TikTok and and exploring it that way. But it's definitely hard to start a podcast now in 2023. Shout out to those who have said, like, you know what, 2023 is our year where we're starting it. Props to
Yeah,
you,
that's
because
2023. I want this stress.
yeah.
It is 2023. I want this stress. Like,
But
come on.
remember, like when we started, and it sounded like it was archaic, but we did start 6 years ago. I feel like there wasn't the infrastructure to be doing it the way we do now, which is why we sounded how we did back then.
Mhm.
Like, we've been doing this for almost 6 years straight, and like just now it's so much easier to do a podcast. Like, you can just open up StreamYard or open up Zencaster, or you can open up things, and now everything will like process your files individually. Like, we were on a phone, bro.
Yeah. I think people don't realize how crazy it really got. Like, and I would love to just do an episode of the different eras of the A show and where we were at in life during the first 50 and where we were at in
Bro,
life during the next 50. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, and like, bro, the stuff that we had to tackle, and I feel like so many other podcasters weren't tackling it. Like, we had to tackle the what's my man's name? Did that rant in the dark room about his t-shirt. Uh
Wait,
fuck,
what?
what's his
What?
remember we had to talk about that? Remember he had the t-shirt that was racially
ACH. Yeah.
yeah, remember that? Like, that
Yeah.
was like our, I don't want to say it's like our first like big thing, but I feel like we were the first, like, all right, we're talking about it and we're giving a different perspective than everybody else, because everyone else seems to think of it this way when I feel like everyone should think about it this way. And then, like, we fell on our swords for that because people called us crazy and all types of coons, and Tom, all the types of
And
words and
up
stuff.
we ended up eventually like coming around and being right about the whole thing. And,
Yeah.
and even like he came out, you know what I'm saying, and was like, you know what, I was wilding, you know what I'm saying, and then no one ever said, oh no, like I think that's a detriment, or that's an advantage and detriment to us because we've actually been around real life circumstances, and I feel like
Yeah.
people just haven't. And I'm gonna be real. That might sound mean, but it's the truth. Like it's
No,
like
it's absolutely the truth. I experienced that today. I mean, I know we're jumping the gun here a little bit, but the MJF throwing the alcohol in the kid's face, like
Yeah.
the varying degrees of opinions about this, to me, stems from how much people have people in their lives that they generally love and appreciate and who don't.
Right.
How much they love wrestling more than people and how much they don't, because there is no way in any situation I mean, we're looking at this from a third party because none of us are the kid who got fucking tequila thrown in his face.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but everyone's like, "Oh, the world is too sensitive. He's just trying to get heat." Bro, he threw tequila in a kid's face on national television. Not national television. It's barely national television, even the
what a
way we watched it.
what a heel.
Right. What a heel. Like, this is back in the day. And I'm like, bro, it hasn't been back in the day for at least like 30
And dog,
years.
back in the day is back in the day now. Like back in the day is 97 now, and they weren't doing
Yeah. And it's like, yeah, these are how heels get heat. I'm like, yo, you gotta realize that like we can we can move off of that. Like, this is the same thing we talk about with the Chavo Guerrero and the Mist thing. Like, we can say that was dumb back then and we shouldn't do this now. Like, we can say this, but people are so preoccupied and like, yo, it's heel heat, MJF is the greatest. And I'm like, yo, he threw something in someone's face. And I feel like even that, like,
it goes
swinging it
over
back.
people's heads. It goes over people's heads.
Yeah.
Like it's just like
Yeah.
people don't understand, you know, where just life in general. Like it's supposed to be entertaining, not, you know, assault. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm sorry, man. I got to speak on this too. I feel like for every single person that's ever come out and said that, me, you, Juan, Armand, anyone want to have a job at the WWE, let me tell you what. When Bailey rip up a sign, I don't run to the merch table. I don't run to the merch table, or at least my boss don't tell everyone that I'm running to the merch table to go get a kid Liv Morgan fucking squeaky toy or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying?
For a
When
company I don't really work for, or maybe
or
I do.
or, or maybe I do. I'll tell you what. But the thing is, that could be twisted as, but you want to. Like, no, I don't. But even if I did, I wouldn't be doing that type of shit because I just think that's a little odd, right? That they say that about us, and then people do that, right? No,
Yeah, it's no, it's absolutely odd. Like, I think um it's I mean, it's clear as day, but people don't care because I've always said people are going to make excuses for who they like anyway. So none of this really matters in terms of like what's right or what's wrong. It's more so like, will they tolerate this from you or won't they tolerate this from you? And most people, because of who we are and kind of the opinion that we have, and at times are very assertive about what we believe in, or strong about what we believe in, or what we believe is right, or our opinions and stuff like that. People, I mean, they obviously don't care for us, but they'll excuse it for other people that they care for. They'll excuse it for other people that they care for. So um it's very strange. I don't know. I didn't like that. I didn't like, beyond it just being, cuz they're like, oh, he got to meet his favorite guy, Powerhouse Hobbs. Shout out to, he got to free tickets for the Sacramento show, and thing. And I'm like, bro, that's all fine and dandy, but we're
how
not
is
using this to excuse.
yeah, how is MJF getting in trouble for this? Is my question, right? Like that's to me is more like, all right, he needs to tell the kid sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right,
that was just fucked up. You know what I mean? Like I just
right. A
think that
public apology because this man threw it publicly in his face, took it out of his mind. Like, yo, I'm just saying, if it was my kid, it would have been a different story. They would have had to hold me back, bro.
is weird.
Because
Like I think that again, for all the shit that people love that MJF does and stuff like that, like it really just comes off as like high school type theater type shit to me. Like
It's
it'll.
he to me is such a tryhard, and I hate tryhards. And this doesn't just extend to AEW people because I hate him in WWE too. But he's someone who clearly, to me, I feel like he grew up on the internet like everybody else. He's no better. He's no better than anybody else. He's clearly not. The only thing that's better is he pursued this as an actual career, and everyone else went amongst their lives and pursued other things. But he's clearly no better than us because he he's absolutely a internet troll who is, you know, living out his dreams as a professional wrestler, and has circled his persona around that, around being edgy and saying things like as a fan that he would have wanted to hear as a kid because he never heard it from someone else. And I'm like, you know why people didn't really say that? Because they're playing a character. They want people to get lost in the things that they said and don't necessarily want them to be reminded of the internet discourse when they have a promo, or to be disappointed if they're not reminded by internet discourse if they have a promo. You know what I'm
You,
saying?
do you do you feel like it's kind of like the Sammy thing where people love him because he looks like them, or like he kind of says the same thing they do?
Yeah, I think that's why they love him. I think that's why you could go up into a press conference and spit in Brian Alvarez's face, and Brian Alvarez is like, that guy, he's one of them ones, I tell you. And I'm like, bro, he just spit in your face and cut a promo, and everyone no sold it, so he decided to go even harder with it. And I'm like, bro, take a step back, read the room.
Yeah,
Everyone thinks you're an idiot.
I
Not
don't
an
know.
idiot. They don't think he's an idiot, but it's like you're playing like this is real right now. You don't have to do this.
Right? No,
Like,
it's definitely again like it's part and parcel with like how that those super fans of that company are, and I mean it's bad on both sides. You know what I mean? Like let's just be clear. Like there's super fans that say and do stupid shit on both sides, but I think when it comes to the point of like throwing alcohol in the kid's face, and everyone thought it was water at first, and you know it comes out it was alcohol, and then from there the reactions went from ha 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 to people then being like, oh, this is even more awesome that he did this. Like, what? Like no, like that kid just wanted to go and have a fun time. And listen, let's be clear, like
I feel
Chase,
like kids are off limits, like, and not in a sense of like you can do something like,
you can rip a
I,
sign.
yeah, you rip a sign. I mean, it's a sign, like, and I still think they would be sad about that. So I don't even like doing necessarily that, but like taking it out and throwing like liquor in a kid's face, like, bro, I don't know, bro. What part of the game is that?
It ain't no part of the game, man. And I mean, let's be clear, like them Chase Center tickets is high as hell. You know what I'm saying? They paid a pretty
Yeah.
penny to get inside that bit. Well, it's the AEW show, but probably didn't. Uh, but I mean, again, like that. This is still an arena meals that to get into a basketball game, or when they moved from their last arena, you know, you
Hmm.
effectively priced out a bunch of people in Oakland. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is already a premium experience that this kid is having to get. And I hate to get into like the meat and potatoes of it, the socio political part of it, but it's like this kid wanted a premium experience. His mother did too. They weren't going there expecting that. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, from watching the show, it looked to me it was like it was unprompted. There was no reason for him to do it at all. Anyway,
No,
um,
there wasn't because he was in the middle of an Iron Man match.
yeah, like there was no reason for him to really go that far. So again, like good on the kid for getting those tickets. Good on Tony for that. The kid's parents not wanting to sue him or sue the shit out of him. That could still come, by the way. They could still do that.
Hey,
But
man, I don't know, man. That PR, that team that they got, a couple foam fingers really run to the booth. That PR team they got, I'm sure they're gonna make sure it doesn't happen. Maybe they give them a spot on their show or something.
I don't know, it's just
Um,
weird. And again, like I say that we say that all in jest to them. Like this isn't like anger or whatever the fuck they'll twist it as, but it is kind of funny. Like, like
it's a, it's definitely something. It definitely is. Uh,
I, I I didn't even expect to get into it, but let's get into Revolution, I guess. Since we've already been talking about it. Um,
yeah.
and then we'll get into No Holds Barred. I'm trying to stay away meals from the internet right now because of the Attack on Titan spoilers.
Oh well, sir.
Where is the dub?
That's a good question. I don't know. This is like a 60-minute episode, so you might have to wait a couple weeks, but um
They should be doing it side by side.
it should be a simulcast. I absolutely agree with you. I don't know why, but this all came out of nowhere very, very soon. But you're gonna love it anyway, whether you're spoiled or not. Like, spoilers don't phase me because I just like watching the show. Spoilers don't, and if anything, it enhances a different part of my brain to embrace the show. I know what happens at the end of Attack on Titan. I'm still looking forward to it, to seeing it. Um, that's what it is for me. But you know, avoid it, run from it.
I can't, bro. I can't. But I'm so excited for the end of the series, and see how that shakes out. I see you guys on the lookout are doing some cool shit.
We are. Shout out to me and Jamal. We are here. We're celebrating. Wow, I don't know what's going on outside. We're celebrating, similar to this show, celebrating 5 years of the Lookout next week, which is like another. Like, imagine doing 2 podcasts over the course of 5 years. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Yeah.
But um, it should be fun doing that. Having that kind of experience, especially with Jamal, one of my best friends, and kind of just talking about anime. So if you guys love anime and want to hear discussions about it, feel free to subscribe to
I
the
have a
Lookout.
take. I have a take.
Okay, go on.
I think that the erasure of certain anime series is ridiculous among your fan base in the lookout.
Okay, go on.
I think that the erasure is crazy. Let me go look at the poll right now. Because I didn't vote on the poll. I did suggest something else, but I didn't vote on the poll.
I think you should vote in the poll.
Well, I'm gonna be biased because all of these options, it's like y'all have talked about these before.
We've talked about 2 of these before,
I know, and I feel as though like
but we've never gone into actually, like, we've really talked about one. I'm waiting until Attack on Titan ends so we can do a full Attack on Titan, like, breakdown, beginning to end, close the book on it, all types of things, know what we were looking for, all the other stuff like that. I'm waiting for that ultimately at the end of the day. But I
erasure,
have no.
y'all niggas, Brotherhood. Come on, I didn't even finish that shit.
Hey man, it's one of the most highly notable. So here's the thing. Here's why we chose what we chose for our 5th anniversary poll. And like, half of it Jamal suggested, so the things that Jamal like, and have these things I suggested. However, I choose based on the people who listen to us. So what the demographics say is that mostly people who listen to us like the extremely popular anime.
Exactly.
So,
That's what I'm. But here's my thing. Here's my thing though. Here's my thing though. Here's my thing though. Here's my thing though. Here's my thing though.
okay.
Going off charts for certain stuff like Champloo is a good idea. I think that could be that could be during the season. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I want to I would love to be there and give y'all like a primer on Trigun or a primer on Gundam or JoJo or whatever. And me and Cyrus are gonna go back to that.
I was about to say, I was like, nigga,
Don't even ask. Don't even ask.
y'all
But
got a JoJo thing.
but here's my thing is like it's an erasure. Like I love Attack on Titan. Y'all got it's over. Y'all got to leave it alone. I love Dragon Ball Z. That shit ain't had nothing new in almost a decade.
Hey
You know what I'm
man,
saying?
first of all, it's not a choice for a reason, but I'm never going to stop loving Dragon Ball Z.
I'm not telling you to stop loving Dragon Ball Z. I
And
love
to be
Dragon Ball Z too.
and everyone who loves us also loves Dragon Ball Z.
I think that it's just erasure. I think it's racism. Um, I need some Gundam love this year. I need some Trigun love this year. These are two series that I feel like no one. I feel like people outside of Lookout are talking about, but like y'all aren't talking about. And that's my opinion. Witch from Mercury and the new Trigun series are both being very much talked about right now.
So the Trigun thing, I'm waiting until Trigun's actually finished. Um, which I think in a couple episodes it will be. So I didn't want to talk about. We talked about it a little bit on last week's episode about the general feel of it and how it is, and we actually talked about it last year when we saw it the first episode at Anime NYC. as a special preview. So we talked about it then, but I wanted to wait until it finished so we can talk about it as a whole, because it doesn't make any, it's not a, I don't think it generates enough discourse episode by episode to warrant us going through it episode by episode. So I think I want to look at it as a larger thing, and that's usually kind of my mindset when I look at these kind of animes. It's kind of like the general discourse between what actually, it's similar to what we do here, right? Like we understand, like,
We don't talk
for
about New
instance,
Japan. We don't talk about New Japan because nobody.
yeah. Shout out to the G Show. It was an amazing time.
Yeah, nobody watches that shit. But here's my thing. Like again, like I said, Champloo is a good idea. But you know why I feel like why it's getting fucked up in the poll? Because you got two really popular animes.
First of all, Champloo is winning in the poll currently.
I know. Hold on.
Oh, I thought you said getting fucked up.
If it was more animes y'all didn't talk about, it would not have that many votes. You know what I'm saying? Like if it was Iron Blooded Orphans, Champloo, which I believe Jamal was already watching Iron Blooded Orphans, so he's kind of cheating. I hate to be a snitch, but I think he was already watching that.
I didn't know that, but he
might already be watching that. But, Iron Blooded Orphans, because he might just be trying to finish it. Iron Blooded Orphans, Champloo, and two other ones. I bet you Champloo doesn't get that many votes because people are looking at it like I don't know much about Gundam, even though it's the most popular anime, one of the most popular anime IPs going on 40 years. People look at Titan and say, Titan. They look at Brotherhood and say, there's nothing more you can say about Fullmetal Alchemist at all. Like that's over. But they'll be like, I guess I'll do Champloo because I know nothing about Gundam. You know what I'm saying? Like,
how about this? How about I'm gonna extend an invitation to you to the lookout. If you want to come this week, if you're not recording any Black Print or anything like that, feel free to come on this week and we can have this discussion in long form. I don't want to necessarily.
I'm arguing. No. Here's my thing. This is no hate to. I feel like Champloo and Gundam are two good ones, but I feel like Titan and Full Metal. I'm not mad at y'all. I'm just saying I'm mad at y'all listeners for because my thing is like you want it. Like I listen to Lookout because it's a gateway. I listen to like the manga shit because I'm like, okay, like I want to be a gateway. But when I be in there, I'd be like, yo, what about this? If it's not JJK or some other shit, y'all niggas is not fucking with it.
It's because those are more popular properties. Like it definitely is. Like it just is. Like week to week, it's not even close. JJK was the number one selling manga in 2022. Like it's not even close. Like
y'all can't talk about nothing else.
We talk about other things. We talk about other things.
I'm not talking about you.
Okay.
But I want everything to get love. That's all I'm saying.
You want, Blood Witch Mercury. You want that.
I want Trigun, Witch Mercury. I want
Trigun is coming. Trigun will come.
I want
we have kind of a schedule set up for the rest of the season, but
Fist of the North Star. Fist of the North Star. JoJo.
You gotta realize most of these people thinking anime are born 2000 and beyond.
Oh, you calling me old now? All right, yo, listen.
I'm like, you bringing up a lot of 90s anime, man.
Hey, man, because it's a gateway.
I agree. I agree 100% with you. My thing about anime in 2020.
Would y'all ever watch Berserk?
Did we watch what?
Would y'all ever watch Berserk, the Berserk anime from 97?
I'm sure Jamal has watched it. I haven't watched it yet.
Vampire Hunter D.
I haven't watched it
yet. Vote me on for 2 episodes. Listeners.
We'll figure it out. But between watching wrestling, basketball, I have to figure out time to also watch the anime.
Fuck the Knicks.
No. So that's not gonna happen. You can't even harsh my mellow right now because it's not.
Fuck the Knicks.
We're on a winning streak. 9 games, gonna be 10 games. Malfunction Mark. Shout out to Mark because I've had to listen to Mark on his own sports podcast, shit on the Knicks for years. So now he got to sit down here and feel the summer a little bit.
Oh, wow. Mark, I'm not co-signing this. I'm not co-signing.
You don't have to co-sign it. The facts are there. We beat him twice. What do they need? They're in 7th seed. We're in 5th seed. I'm
Spirit of
sure
Mark,
they'll jump up to 6th seed, but
Spirit of Mark is inside me.
I've had to sit
hope
there. I've had to
you
sit
Heat banner.
for
Hope you like your
four,
Beat the Heat banner.
I've sat there for 4 years and listened to them slander the New York Knicks on this podcast. He can sit and feel the heat for at least another year or at least a couple months. I don't know. They should have made moves in the offseason. It's not me. Don't blame us. Blame your incompetent staff that
Jesus
didn't make
Christ.
any moves and still has Udonis Haslam on the roster, old ass nigga. When it could have been a spot to a young, fresh motherfucker. You guys have this guy who has not contributed anything since LeBron was
No,
there on the
hey,
roster.
that's a shoot, brother. Hey, Mark, I'm not co-signing none of this.
Just because he's like the specter of the Heat. Get
I'm
that
not.
shit out of here.
I'm not co-signing none of this. Okay,
Y'all should have did more. Well, Kevin Love. Kevin Love ain't done anything since LeBron was on the damn Cavs.
wow, bro.
God bless.
I can't talk, bro. I can't talk. I'm not saying nothing. I
God
can't.
bless to the Knicks fans everywhere. This is our time. This is our moment. Even if it's fleeting, it's okay because it happened.
I'm gonna name this. I'm gonna name this episode Nick's Tape.
I'm fine with that. You can't, you can't. Yeah, I'm on a different level right now. But we need to get into the shows. We actually do need to get into the shows.
We gotta.
We're on a time limit this week, actually.
AEW Revolution. We did something really special for our patrons over the weekend.
Well, Discord members.
Oh yeah, Discord members. So if you were part of our Discord, we did a watch along with Revolution. I would say that it was pretty enjoyable. I think people had a good time. I was like in and out, so like I was like just checking it out. But yeah, it's looking like the buy rate might be around 130. So
That's what Tony said.
yeah, that's what he says.
How
So
you know?
we'll see. We'll
130
see.
what, nigga?
Bryan Danielson looks like a fucking idiot.
He needs to take a break after this. Like, I think he needs to be taken off TV at this point because there's no sense in furthering him in another direction for him to lose again. I feel like take a month or two off, and then you can bring him back and it can kind of be fresh again. Because him losing again, don't get me wrong, I thought the match, especially the last five, the overall match to me was cool. The last about 15 minutes of how everything went down, I thought was actually great. But
was there any question that Bryan Danielson would have a great match with MJF? I see people surprised and saying MJF has arrived, and I'm like, well, look at who the fuck he was working with.
First of all, I don't think MJF's a bad wrestler at all. I think it's his personality that makes things unbearable. But I don't think he's a bad wrestler at all. I cannot say that I've seen a bad MJF match. Now, it certainly wasn't going to be bad with Bryan Danielson. It just incapable of happening.
So again, good wrestler versus a GOAT. You're going to get what you got on Sunday.
Absolutely.
That just is what it is. So,
but I think they had several moments during this match where the Iron Man, I mean, the especially when it went into Southern, I was like, people are thinking it's a draw. I'm like, yo, y'all can't be wrestling marks this hard.
that's some shit ROH would have done back in the day. And like ROH would have definitely did a draw on Friday, and then on Saturday they would have they would have wrestled somebody else. Like Nigel McGuinness, I'm sure has done something like that before, where he wrestled like a 30-minute draw and then was back on Saturday in a tag match. Like
what if they did? What if they did something where they decided it was a draw? Nah, this would have pissed the crowd off crazy. They decided it was a draw, and it's like, we're going to do the match, not that Iron Man match, but we're going to have a match again on Dynamite.
That would have been terrible, but it would have made sense. You know why? Because
Why?
AEW probably makes most of their money off TV.
Yeah.
So like they have to pop a rating in order to get those ad sales, in order to get people to tune in to show WB that like, hey, we need more money next time. Like That would have
But
made
people remember the fatal 4-way Iron Man match. I can't remember being. I was so mad about that.
on NXT.
Yeah, I was so mad about that it ended up being a draw, and then they had the match the next week.
Well, remember, like for one, that match was actually kind of fire. I think it that was like NXT Super Tuesday or something like that, right? It was
Yeah, yeah,
after Karrion got hurt. Um, I think that match was fire one, but I get it because again, this was COVID era. You needed to have week to week somebody like you had to have people tuning in. I think this was honestly an NXT at its like it was odd, right, Meelz? Because this was NXT at its most biggest work rate, but people like couldn't have cared less at that time.
yeah,
And I think that when I go back to a lot of that stuff, and we're not just talking about Finn versus Kyle or Finn versus Pete Dunne and shit like that, like they were working every single week on their TV, and that's like men and women. And I think that honestly, the level of work that they were doing on NXT did rival AEW at the time. It was for sure better than main roster, but like
yeah.
I think people should go back to those old NXT episodes, at least the matches, not really like the creative. To me, it wasn't that great, but matches like that 4-way Iron Man were really good. But I do understand where you're coming from, where that pissed you off, but then you get the intended result the next week.
Right, absolutely. And I think that was most important. If they wanted to carry that rating over to the show, and I think that would have been it probably would have turned a lot of their fans off, but probably would have turned people into watching Dynamite since the ratings went back down again. Um, but now we have the question: who's next? Who's next?
It would have to be like, what's his name?
Adam Page. Adam Page.
Well, Homeboy beat Jericho too. Ricky Starks, he beat Jericho in the opener.
I don't know if you go to distance of Ricky Starks yet. He's good, but I don't know if he's like main event a pay-per-view good yet.
True. Well, some people would say that. I think some people like to gas niggas a lot.
I
And
agree. I like Ricky Starks a lot, but I don't think, to be honest with you, they had this discussion on Black Announce Table too. Um, no, not Black Announce Table, Black Wrestling. Sorry.
they love him over there. I'm like,
Well,
I see it, but I don't see it.
my thing is like, what does the win over Chris Jericho really do?
Nothing.
Because like,
He means less than nothing there.
yeah, everybody beats Jericho. Like
Yeah.
everybody in the feud beat Jericho's not going to lose. He has said that in an interview this past week too. He says, "I beat Action Andretti, and I'm not going to lose to Action Andretti again." I was like, "All right, see what happens in the future, man. Don't say never." But um, I don't think it does anything because I think people generally expected this result to happen, and not to say that the intended result wouldn't isn't going to do anything, but it's like it didn't really do anything. Like I expected Ricky Starks to win. I expected actually they did a lot for a lot of the the newer, I guess, AEW talent or like non-homegrown AEW talent this pay-per-view because um, Jungle Boy gets his win over Christian um, in a I guess it was a casket match. I was like, when is this? I thought it was a street fight or something.
They announced it on Rampage apparently. Yeah, a lot of this show seemed like them a lot of like baby faces winning,
Yeah.
right? Like a lot of
Well,
more than you.
a lot of people like.
Yeah, a lot of people like winning for the most part. For the most part. But
Yeah, House of Black, now they can finally claim they're like,
whatever.
hey, we're actually accomplished now. We're not just like, doing something aside Judgment Day or something along those lines. They can say they did something, which I thought was a good result. I thought that was how it should have been because the Bucks and Kenny don't need it, and nor should they be in the 6-person division that doesn't exist currently. Like,
Well, now you give the belts, that albatross of a belt, over to another trios team that will do
ooh,
nothing with it for months.
Rampage. It's
people
just
were like,
Rampage.
people were like hype over that win, and I was like, okay, so who's next for them?
I
Like,
was I was like, all right, I wonder when we're gonna see them on Dynamite next. In like 4 months. Like 4 months from now.
like
Um
he finally gets a belt 2 years later, which is hilarious. Like this is like a big get for them, right? Like getting Malachi was a big get for them, and they've
yeah.
largely spun their wheels. But it seems to me this is like a slow burn or a slow kind of like detachment from the Bucks and Kenny from whatever the fuck's going on.
I feel like it's a transition. Yeah, to be honest, I feel like AEW currently is in this transitional era. I feel like they know they have to make new stars because they don't have any. Like they don't have another. It's Moxley,
Cody.
Hangman Page,
They don't have another
MJF.
Cody.
Yeah, essentially. Um, so
MJF
they're
not MJF not burnt lighting things up. Mox barely does. I don't know. Again, you're still kind of selling yourself to. I'm not sold on him creating new stars here, right? So like, and with the elite, it's like yes, this does seem like a phase out to me. Like it feels like they have like no place, just like Cody did before he left. There's no place for them anywhere right now.
so. Who did I talk to about that? Oh, actually, my friend, because he was talking about we were talking about Cody from Raw last night, and I asked him because he's an AEW fan, and I asked him what did he think of Revolution. He said it was decent, and I was like, yeah, I was pretty excited. House of Black one. He was like, what did he say? I can pull up his text right now because I definitely had this discussion of like, um, I can't. Oh. If Kenny Omega is going WWE and he says I can't see Kenny Omega being pushed in WWE, and I was like I can't see it in AEW because he's hogtied by it being a conflict of interest. Like,
Well,
and that's exactly what happened with Cody.
how could you not see him being pushed in WWE? He would
No,
absolutely be.
I can see him being pushed in WWE. That's a for sure. I mean, I don't know how much is if you push him too hard, he might fall off and break. But um, he, I can see him being pushed in WWE for sure as absolutely being a new flavor that they need because we got motherfucking Dolph Ziggler on Raw and shit, man. Come on now, we can do new stars, but I think they're all except maybe the Bucks, but the Bucks are kind of like they either win the tag team titles or they don't. But Kenny, I think there's a general
Do the
disdain.
Bucks fit? Do the Bucks fit in that tag team division, which is pretty stinky? Let's just be honest. Like Jay Lethal and Jarrett are good mechanics. Like they can work with anybody. But like, come on, they shouldn't be beating these guys. And I don't know if these guys get anything from beating them. And then
I think
they're avoiding FTR now, who is now back.
right, and I think what's crazy is I think in any position like the Bucks are, they should be the one who be like, okay, we want this program against the acclaimed. Like
Yeah.
we want to push them to the next level. We want to take them there. We want to have this thing. We can play off of them. I feel like that's naturally what veteran talent who sees momentum heading in a certain way for a company would do. And I feel like that's what Jericho has done with the Ricky Starks thing. Um, I feel like that's exactly where it should be. It should be the Bucks versus the acclaimed. If the Bucks are heel or whatever, or the acclaimed, it doesn't matter at that point. I think if you see something going in a good direction, you want to follow that and take advantage of that. And if you can lend your star power to that, everybody wins at the end because you're not going to lose. But yeah, FTR is back, so I don't know. They're going to
You
do
know
something.
the big difference with that is that usually veteran talent doesn't have their trust broken completely by their ball or their CEO or what I mean, like
Right.
that's to me is the biggest difference there is that they might just not really be feeling it anymore because of that. I don't know when Kenny's contract is up. Tony says he hopes he'll come back. I think Tony is very serious when he says that. I look at that and I'm like, I look at that match on Sunday and I'm like, this is a very routine Bucks Kenny match, 6-man, and I'm like, this title cannot survive on these types of matches alone. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like, they just cannot. And I'm just wondering what is next for them. I do not want to see Kenny versus MJF. That on the mic would be a disaster.
Yeah, I can see why you
We
wouldn't want to see
go,
that.
go back to Kenny and Danielson, I guess. With the roles reversed, I guess, or shit. Well, not really. They're both faces now. Well, they love doing face versus face shit. So that is what it is. Hangman and Mox fought with a fake brick and some fake barbed wire.
Was it a fake brick? Hollywood bricks?
That was definitely some tape balled up and wrapped around fucking rubber or some shit. That barbed wire was fake because that was spray painted. Like you could see it. It was spray painted. It wasn't even sticking to their body.
Hey man, we got to be safer for these people, man. Can't kill them all the way.
I
The
feel like
Texas death match.
I feel
Not
like
an
Mox.
actual death match.
I feel like Mox absolutely would have done it with real barbed wire, but I feel like they definitely. You're right. Like we're like we can't do that type of deathmatch shit. But I'm like, if you can't do it all the way, don't do it. Like there was so much blood on this show, Meelz. There was so much blood on this show.
Yeah, niggas was going crazy.
Why were there so much blood on this show?
Because that's what they do. Because WWE can't. So you're gonna get blood here.
Last thing, Joe looks like an idiot. Samoa Joe looks like an idiot, and that match was pretty awful. It went 10 minutes and felt like 20.
I didn't even watch it.
I didn't watch that. I didn't catch the women's match, but Jamie Hayter does defeat Saraya with Ruby Soho turned at
heel. Yeah. I was like, what?
She was fighting everybody.
Why would you fight this person and then turn on?
That's like backstage. It's like, all right, so yeah, just whoop my ass a little bit, but don't hit me too hard. You feel me? So when the shit over, I'm gonna just like, no.
Hey, apparently, if you can't beat them, join them. But I'm like, bro, you had something there with Ruby and also like the Willow Nightingale girl, but apparently she's on ROH now, so apparently it doesn't matter anymore. I would have done some with that and paired them up with the Britt and Jamie side, but I don't know who's going to be on the Britt and Jamie side. Sheeta?
Who cares? Anyway, let's go to Raw and SmackDown. We have a lot to talk about there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, listen, talk about Raw and Smack. Well, actually, we'll talk about when we get to Raw. Let's get through SmackDown first. SmackDown, I don't remember what happened, but
it seemed like there was a gulf between SmackDown, Revolution, and Raw.
Oh, Cody showed up. There we go.
Cody showed up. Yeah, like I feel like people forget that like that happened on Friday because
this was a good SmackDown.
Bro, here's the thing that's crazy to me. Not crazy, but
completely forgot.
Cool. What cool to me was that things happened on.
No, things absolutely happened on SmackDown
and on Raw. A lot of things happened. Like things were fucking happening, and I can appreciate the fact that they're starting to kind of ramp things up this week and last week. So we began with Cody and Roman having their discussion, which was very respectful until Roman goes, disrespectful. And what did you feel about Roman's? I mean, Roman was in another level here. Roman has clearly, obviously, stepped up his promo games, but like no one to me, Meelz, has ever considered Roman a great promo, and I think that that's really a shame because I think he's an amazing promo, and he proved it here.
I feel like he is someone that doesn't do well with lines, but also I don't know if he that apt off the cuff neither. So I feel like he definitely needs some direction where he's going with it. But I think the direction they gave to him was make fun of his daddy, and kind of like, mingle and see where it goes from there. And I think what it ended up with is Roman Reigns seeing that he agitated Cody to the point where he might be realizing maybe I shouldn't have done that, or maybe that was a problem.
Yeah, Roman's facials here after he did this promo, shakes his hand. Cody says, I have to exist. And I liked Cody kind of taking the back seat here because Cody is known to go very long, but he took the back seat to Roman here. And I thought it was cool because you have to let Roman kind of get the first and last words here.
Oh, we are overdue for the promo, by the way.
Yeah.
We're overdue for this man cutting a sermon for sure.
It's happening. But they say it's family versus legacy. And I think that's a really cool angle to go at it. I think that people have been kind of purposely obtuse as to what this story is. These are two men that are steeped in wrestling mythology and history. Why would this not be the match? You know what I'm saying? Like this is the match because of these are the children of the past of legends. You know what I mean? And they're going and they're getting out there the main event. Like honestly, Meelz, this is unheard of. I can't remember the last time we've had like generational stars like this in the main event, right? Like it wasn't. Orton had one, but it wasn't against like another.
No,
like Triple H's first generation, John Cena's first generation. You can say Rock, but then you have Austin. He's not first. He's not from a lineage. Like this is maybe one of the first or second times this has happened. It's a huge deal.
No, it's absolutely a huge deal. I think I feel like once they start the video packages and start telling the story, I think people will see that a lot more clear for sure.
Yeah, and I like this. It's gonna be something fucking special, man. Like it's really gonna be something really special, and we have more of this, to come. What else happened on SmackDown? I thought Rhea
Dom,
Ripley and Liv was dope.
I thought that was cool too. I think they're both great workers at this point. It's kind of sad to see Liv kind of get like lost in the mix right around WrestleMania time,
Mhm.
um, because this is kind of where you would want to say like all the momentum with her character would lead up to this point, but I guess it kind of was last year and it kind of like petered out right now. Um, but she's doing good, and the match was great. Um, I'll be honest with you, no Charlotte. I'm confused. I'm confused. She's on SmackDown.
She was out doing press, and she's been
No,
out doing press, right?
Charlotte was on Smack. I think she wrestled later that day.
Oh, she did.
I think so. She wrestled after. We gotta talk to. I gotta hit up Brie Bosa and see.
What is
And
it's
DMV
getting it's
Brie
getting
Bosa.
it's getting a lot of like promo time on TV though. Like they had a video package on Raw, which is funny. They
Why
need
didn't they
to
do it on SmackDown?
I feel like Asuka and Bianca are seen together more than those two are.
Bruh, I was like, all right, so you ain't gonna have her like do commentary, leave her a thing, anything like that. Like she just, I was like, you know what? It is what it is.
It feels
Um,
like a foregone conclusion though, to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like it's like if Charlotte's about to lose this, then what the fuck I need to show up for?
I feel like, yeah, I feel like this is gonna be one of them programs where they look back on it and feel like they probably could have done more. I mean, there's still more to go, but I feel like she's a Royal Rumble winner. Like it's March. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't look back for at least a month and say you could have done more when you could have done everything. She chose you a month ago.
You're right.
Um, it look like we're looming close to the Dominic Mysterio Rey Mysterio announcement.
Should happen
Dominic
this
trying to beat up his dad. Trying to beat up his dad.
It should happen this week.
Amen. It
I-
should. Why he beat up Santos Escobar like that? Why Santos Escobar going out
Hey,
like a
listen,
hoe?
Santos. Hey, hey, man, be your own man, yo. What kind of nigga is you, man?
I've seen you do despicable things in NXT.
Bruh, no, not the mask. What? Get off your knees. The
Where's
hell?
your man's?
Your
There's a
dad is a
dude.
real, your dad is a real. His man's in the backstage. Like I ain't going out with that nigga,
I
bro.
was like, bro, where's the dude with the belly button tattoo and the other dude?
The fuck, niggas weird. Okay, I'll say this about Santos. He could be a big deal if they let him.
I agree.
But you could definitely see that positioning him in this. Let's be clear. This is a big storyline, and putting him in this storyline shows how much kind of faith they have in him, especially working with Dom and giving him a match and having him be in the mix there. Like it's showing that they don't want Santos to be completely off TV, and it didn't. He didn't look like a jobber either. You know what I'm saying? He looked like
Right.
somebody that could that honestly was going to win the match. He can more than hang with Dominic, but if Rhea wasn't out there, the situation would have been different. I'll lipo with Santos right now. I've always thought that he could be a really good face because he can talk, and that's part of the thing. I'm just wondering how Zelina and Wild and the other homeboy are going to fit into that when they get back from where they're at.
I agree. Wherever the hell they're at.
I don't know where
I
they're
mean,
at.
I knew where Zelina was at. She's out being a weeb.
She was in Japan. Like what?
I mean, Crunchyroll Awards. I wouldn't turn it down either.
The bag is tremendous. LA Knight comes out and they all with the New Day, McIntyre.
Well, yeah. Drew McIntyre came out, challenged Gunther. Sheamus was like, "What you doing?"
That's what
You
I did
thought
to
you
you
slick?
today. That's what I did to you today when I talked about the lookout. I was like, yo, you're not a real brother.
What you doing? You know, I wanted the Intercontinental titles for the longest. And then LA Knight comes out and says, you can't have an LA WrestleMania without LA Knight. Gets a pop. Gets a hometown pop. Shout out to him.
They don't want him to listen, Meelz. They don't want him to be a heel. So I don't know how long people are going to be. The WWE are going to be able to try and make him a heel. They don't want him to be a heel. They want him.
No.
He's over.
They want the walking, talking, Stone Cold, Rock, John Cena mixture
Mix
of
up.
LA Knight. Yeah. Then
The matches are just okay, and he's getting Stone Cold pops.
Hey man, good for him. He's 41. You better figure this out. Then what's my name? What's the dude's name? Karrion Cross looking very Puerto Rican.
Karrion Coven or Cross Coven complete.
Looking very. I was like, okay, that's a nice shirt, my guy. Looking like Mr. Worldwide. Okay.
How do you feel? How do you feel about them not giving up on him?
If we hired him, we gotta use him for something. He's not. I don't want to say he's not whack because I don't even believe. Like he's not that. It's not that he's not whack. There's something there, but we gotta have him try out a bunch of different things to see where he's gonna go.
Wear that dumbass shirt. Hey, that was Valencia, baby.
Come on, Mr. Worldwide. That's what he was. And then Kofi came out. Apparently, Kofi got injured in the middle of all this melee. So we'll see. But it's supposed to be a fatal 5-way. Determine who's going to be Gunther's WrestleMania opponent. Who's going to die to Gunther at WrestleMania.
Or not die.
I'm still under the thing. It's going to be a triple threat match between him. I feel like Sheamus deserves to be on this card.
Double pin fuckery. Some type of shit. Or the match doesn't finish or something like that. It's gonna be something crazy. Or Gunther and Imperium comes out and they destroy everybody.
Right.
No winner.
Speaking of injured, Ronda not looking well for Mania, you know?
Looking bad.
I'm sure she'll do it. I feel like she'll do it anyway. And just maybe not do a lot. But because I feel like that's kind of like her MO. Like she's someone who wants to work at the end of the day. Like not really wants to be left off the card, doesn't really want to do anything else. Like if she's here, she should be working the card because there's no reason to have her on SmackDown build up to WrestleMania and then not put her on WrestleMania, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I think she'll work there, but she's injured. But you know they got her and the Shayna thing going on. We're gonna go into this segment I want to call Bray Wyatt dumbass watch. Every week is a new wrinkle.
Nigga, imagine you Bobby Lashley, right?
No, I'm not.
Imagine you Bobby Lashley, right? And you look at the Titantron and his Uncle Howdy.
Yo, he beat up a nigga named Uncle Howdy this week.
They derailed the whole Hurt Business shit because you gotta fight Uncle Howdy.
He beat up Bo Dallas this week, bro.
So, man, hey, I'm gonna pray for this nigga, man, because
hey, listen, company man. They probably told him he got World Championship up next. Bobby, we thinking of you for SummerSlam, Bobby.
Get the bag, my nigga. Get the bag, my nigga. It's just too much stuff that's more important, my nigga. Too much stuff that's more important. Uncle Howdy come out, start laughing in the nigga face. Then he get choke slammed. Then he disappears. I don't know what they're doing with Bray no more. It seemed to me, Meelz, that he was a baby face, and now he's not a face no more.
No, he's not. He's clearly not.
So I don't even know if the segment, like, he's getting the, you know what he's getting now? He's getting the, oh shit, he's here pop. And then it just kind of peters off after that.
Absolutely.
I'm sure he's selling merch though. I mean, we could even talk about what happened on Raw because nothing happened on Raw. So it's like, I guess we got to add that match to the list, but I'm sure it'll be announced on Friday that that's happening. So,
Bobby Lashley to Bray Wyatt, what's it going to take for you to be a man? That's the video I see on YouTube.
That's true. What's he gonna take for him to be a man? Like, and the thing is like, again, he calling you out like as a man. Like, what's up with the silly shit, man, nigga?
Hey, man.
Do you have? And I know we're kind of jumping the gun here, but do you have Bobby beat Bray here in order to keep him strong?
I don't think Bobby losing to no damn Bray Wyatt, to be honest with you. You told me to do this feud. I ain't losing.
Right.
That's a fact. Because it's not like you got Bray Wyatt penciled in for the World Championship.
Those first couple of weeks, Meelz, I was like, I could argue that it might be, you might have to do it. Now I'm like, you can't really argue it no more. Like, it's not an argument.
I agree.
The first couple of weeks, I was like, you might have to get him in the mix with Roman sometime. Now I'm like, nah, never mind.
Roman, the first nigga who turned this guy down. He was like, please. I face Jimmy.
Right.
Let's see. Monday Night Raw.
I thought it was a fun ass show. It was a fun show to me.
This was a good show.
Stuff happened. It seems like they knew they had to kind of turn up the heat a little bit. We're less than a month out, so how do you want to do the storyline? Because it seemed like there was like a
let's roll storyline to storyline.
Let's start with something that's making people a lot like very angry, and that is the John Cena.
Wait, before we start with the storylines, we gotta talk about Raw had a visitor this week.
Ooh,
you ain't here?
Oh God, yeah. Oh, the owner of the company came to oversee the company. Got it.
Vince McMahon was backstage on Raw, and someone, I don't know who, they couldn't wait to tell Sean Ross. It was like, Nick was texting furiously. I saw Vince. He got a mustache now. Not looking good for the allegations.
I know that he is in creative because I haven't been on TV. Signed, Lacey Evans.
Oh God. He was on Raw with a mustache. People now think that no. Well, Dave Meltzer specifically says like, you'd be crazy to think he was there to visit John Cena, but he was like, it's not like he was just there visiting John Cena. I was like, all right, so what else he did, Dave? Tell us. Oh, why is Dave? He apparently sat in Gorilla the entire night and watched a show. Now, could I see him giving some opinions on what was going on? Yeah. Could I see him be like, nah, y'all should do this. I should be doing this. I could see him do that. Because one, he used to do that all the time. It's like if I go back to my old job, I'm like, nah, y'all wildin'. Y'all need to be doing this. Like, I mean, I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. Man went to visit his job. He might be at WrestleMania.
He's definitely going to be there. I just don't know what. I think again, there are very few people that understand. I think there's very few people that understand the machinations about why he stepped down, and the steps that he took to make sure that he was okay to do stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Not saying I agree with it, but it's like that they found that there was nothing wrong, which again opened the floodgates for him to actually come back. I think that it's kind of an unwritten kind of thing or unspoken thing that like he was going to stay away from creative. So we're under the pretense that is the case. And looking at the booking, like, let's just be honest, nothing has changed dramatically other than the people on TV. You know, it was like the Raw has still kind of been Raw, just a little bit more NXT-ish.
Yeah, WrestleMania.
Yeah, like, but it's like, again, I cannot love him or hate him. I'm like, if the guy shows up to work, that is what it is. It's not like
niggas ain't gonna kick him out.
What are we supposed to do? Like, what are we supposed to do?
I'm sure that's what Triple H said. Triple H was like, what we're supposed to do? Send him home? Like,
yeah, like, what are we supposed to do? He no one's gonna arrest the guy. Like, he's done no crimes that are recent or whatever. He settled that case, which is like, again, I'm not. Again, we've gone on record
We're
here to say
not. Yeah,
we need to
yeah.
stay
I,
home.
I
We
don't
need to
think.
stay home. I'm just.
Yeah,
I don't know what the outrage is.
yeah. If he's at Raw, it is what it is. Man showed up. I've showed up in my old jobs. I'm sure it is. I'm sure y'all show up to the same McDonald's y'all worked at and say like, "Yo, is Ricky back there?" And something along those lines. It happens. It just is. He went to go see John Cena. John Cena was on Raw, and John Cena made his presence felt on Raw this week, for sure.
Oh yeah. How do you feel about this promo? Uh,
Boy, Cena will do it to you, wouldn't he?
I think that like
He the street sweeper. He K Slay.
there's so many people that keep saying that I don't know what that did for Theory. He beat him down and da 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 da. Da. I don't know if it's gonna like just let the fuck like everyone keeps saying this about Theory. Which again, why are we playing such kid gloves with Austin Theory? Right?
He
Y'all
talked about
hated,
his ball spot.
y'all hated Austin Theory when he was not nothing. You hated him last year. You've been shitting on him all. His career was dead after Money in the Bank. Now you switch back over. You love him again. Now John Cena buried him. You don't like the guy. So why do you care about how the story like shakes out for him?
Yeah, John Cena gonna do what John Cena does. This is what he does. He's been doing this since like 2018, 17, 16. Man, he ends everybody on the mic.
Well,
I
also
feel like the worst casualty is Dean Ambrose.
oh yeah, that's
He ain't
that.
like that. He ain't
Yeah,
like that nigga at all.
he was way worse than this. But also here's my thing too, right? It all comes. It's all about like people are worried about what happens next, but it's all about what Cena gives him in the match, right? So it's like for everyone to be like so up in arms over this promo, I think that we're only seeing one part of this story. It was
Mhm.
a don't get me wrong, he killed that boy, but how else is he gonna learn? This is on the
Yeah,
job training like shit. You know what I'm saying? This is
yeah.
literally on the job training. And I don't think Austin Theory is a bad talker. I don't even think he's bad in the ring. I just don't think you've had much to care about. And I think the story has been Meelz ever since he lost that money in the bank. What they question his manhood. They question if he deserves it. They question you're that's the story of him right now. Is he has been an unproven commodity, and how does he prove himself? You know what I'm saying? So
Absolutely.
like that is the story here. You don't gotta run the nigga over with a car to get you know what I'm saying to get it through to him, bro. All you have to do is have a great match and follow it up with creating a character that is built on that doubt. And I think what
Hmm.
they're doing is masterful here with him. So
I
it is what
agree.
it is. What else happened here? Oh, Finn Balor, Johnny Gargano had the shortest match they've ever had.
Hey man, ain't NXT no more. um, this man Johnny Gargano waiting until the end. He waited a couple minutes to hit that damn DDT. I was like, all right, bro, swing over the fucking rope.
Get out there, nigga.
Um,
Edge comes out.
Edge will
Um,
always get a pop. There's something about "You Think You Know Me" that just elicits a reaction. You know,
you see somebody tweeted that Christian's always been better than Edge.
I saw that. Guess what? It's the same foam finger ass nigga.
Anyway,
But nah, I mean they can. They're both amazing, but you know, Edge more popping has had a maybe more popping career, won more championships.
all
It
that
just
matters.
is what it is.
All that matters. Edge calls out Finn for next week on Raw, so it looks like we're gonna get that announcement next week. Wonder if we get the demon maybe, yeah, or wonder if we get an allusion to the demon. That'd be cool. But again, solid stuff here. I love that Finn is now potentially getting his big match. I think that's really cool for him to get Edge on such a big stage. Carmella Bianca did not deserve 2 commercial breaks.
Hey
Uh,
man, Carmella you listen. Carmella works. It ain't gonna be working towards anything, but she gonna be working.
um, later on,
Chelsea Green was out there. Chelsea Green, gotta give
hey
her to
man,
Chelsea. She working too.
Mela and Chelsea, I see the vision.
I think they're two different kind of chicks, but they can make it work. But I feel like they're different, but they're gonna make it work. You know, um, Asuka comes out looking fresh to death.
Love it. Love the boots. The boots were fire.
Everything was fire, top to bottom. Sprays blue mist in Chelsea Green's face, and now we set up next week. Next week we set up Bianca versus Chelsea. Um, which I'm fine with. So we got that. We got to look forward to that next week. What else happened on Raw?
We also got the Logan Paul, Miz, Seth Rollins,
Oh
and
yeah,
now we have firmly planted that flag in the fucking ground. Seth Rollins is a face. There's no changing it. That is what he is now. Like that promo he gave, he turned into old Seth in this promo.
hey man, why he clobbered that guy? Like it was such a weird hit.
I loved Seth's sell of the one lucky shot. I like the name of that move too.
I was like, all right, he boxed a little, yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna die when he hit me in the. I mean, maybe I will. I don't know. Logan Paul is different.
He's good. Oh, on the mic. I mean, shut up. This has a time limit.
Yeah.
The I wouldn't do it here in Boston. Like that type of stuff was so good. He's a natural. I think it's time to call it. Like he's a
No,
star.
he's a
Bro.
natural. He's a natural. He really is.
So we get Finn Balor or not Finn Balor. We get Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. What just high level thoughts. What do you think it's gonna do? How do you think it's gonna be?
I think it's gonna be super athletic. I think it's gonna be popping, and has potential to steal whatever day it's on.
It's probably day one. Seth's the day one nigga.
Mm.
You don't want to take away from what Cody and Roman are going to do on day two. So I would expect the work rate matches are gonna go up. I could see Bianca doing day two this year.
I could see it too. So you thinking Becky, Lita, Trish versus Damage Control day one?
That ain't no work rate match. That's
I know, right? Yeah.
That's
God
day
bless
two.
all those who have been involved, but I'm
That's,
interested in how this gonna look.
that's fun for them. that's that's fun for Novak, man. That good. Shout out to Novak, man. That's gonna be fun. Last match of the night: Jimmy Uso versus Sami Zayn. Again, the KO and Zayn stuff. The Sami Zayn's match versus Jimmy. Half of that was on commercial, so like there wasn't much to see during that whole thing. But it was all storyline. Ends with Sami Zayn getting the roll up win because Jay comes out. Jay walks into the ring.
Jay in full bloodline garb, by the way.
Yeah, with the red bloodline garb too, like the old shit.
I was like, something funny about this. He was wearing regular clothes last time I saw him. That's what I kept in my head.
Hugs Jimmy. The way he jumped on the table was fucking hilarious. He jumped on that table like he was Spider-Man.
I don't know what was up with him. I don't know if he was on an edible or something.
He was drunk.
It ain't something ain't seem right because I feel like even the cues of when you're about to turn on someone.
Yeah.
I felt like he was hesitating the entire time. Like I legit felt like, all right, here's where you kick him, nigga. Are we kicking him or are we going off air? Like, are we kicking him or what? And Jey Uso, he comes down, like you said, acknowledges Jimmy, says, nah, we not doing that. I'm a side with Sami. Sami's like, yeah, bro, we could do this.
It's not too late.
He throws his ones up in the air, and I'm like, Sami, why you throwing your ones up in the air? Like, why you throwing your ones up? You ain't part of this no more.
Part of this shit? Why are you throwing your ones up? Like Sami, to me, I know people are like siding with him, but he like. Can we be clear that he's in the wrong? Like he's trying to stage a coup from the inside. Like that is not some babyface shit to do.
Hey man.
But maybe he's naive in thinking that he could have done this from the inside because he'll
they
never.
They edited the ones out of YouTube for
sure.
Did,
yeah, they should have. That was weird that he did that. But it goes back to what KO said, and again, him and KO had a moment in the show where KO said, "You're not you're not their blood, and you never will be." And I thought that was always a line that stuck out ever since he said it last year, right? Mm-hmm. And earlier in the night, he tries to get KO on his side, and KO's like, you're not out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're still trying to curry favor with these people. Like, I like that KO said, like, why don't you just go have, apologize to Roman, he'll let you back in. But now he's completely out. You know what I'm saying? Like completely out. He super kicks Sami. The crowd says, what the fuck? They start beating his ass. He said, this is family shit. On camera, I'm pretty sure that the 5-second delay could not have caught that because they didn't know he was going to say it.
Hey man, this family shit. He wanted to say nigga before that too.
Yeah, I definitely felt it.
Yeah, that's family shit. What you know about this?
So he throws him in, beats him up. Cody comes out, gets another pop. It was one thing we forgot to mention was that Cena was talking all the way up the ramp to this nigga's theory. He was just spitting at him the whole time up the ramp. He calls out Cody and they embrace and hug, which I thought was
Hey
a cool.
man, that would have never in my life. And they've been on the same roster before, but I was like, nah, this would have never happened. No fire shit would ever happen like this in AEW. Nigga, John Cena gave it up, and Cody Rhodes is trying to give it back up, and Cena's like, nah, nigga, it's you.
It's
It's
yours, bro.
you.
It's yours,
It's
bro.
yours. It's
Yeah.
yours.
The
It's
world is
yours.
yours, nigga. Cody comes out to save Sami, which gets another pop, which again, thank you. They've played this so smartly by clearly defining you're out of the Roman thing. This is clearly an Usos thing now. I'm finally glad that they pulled the trigger.
There
They
was a
did
little
some-
backstage segment too with Cody talking to Kevin.
oh, there
Little,
was?
behind the not like a backstage segment. You know when they do those segments and then be having
People
shit happen
talking?
on behind segments. So it happened during the Elias and Boogs thing. Um,
I thought
which
I only saw Bronson. How did I miss
not
that?
you gotta go back to the DVD extra. This might as well have been DVD extra because I could give a damn what Boogs and Elias are doing. But Cody and thing, you could see it briefly. They're behind there talking to one another. It's like behind the Bronson Reed thing that's going on. But they're
Oh,
there.
so we're getting so again, it sets up something perfect with them because these are the three that realistically could take down the bloodline. These are the three biggest baby faces in the company right now. And I'm glad that they're setting that line in the sand, and I'm glad they did something definitive with Jay. No more waiting. I know people are like, why didn't you wait till Friday? Because Friday is just another day closer to Mania, and you don't have time to do that shit.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I didn't want Jay back in the bloodline, but whatever. I get it. Heels, faces. Um, it'll be interesting to see what happens, but we're building up to it. So this this Friday, I expect the bloodline back. Is Roman on SmackDown this Friday?
Yes, he is. Because
Okay.
remember, he said he'll be there next week, and if Jay isn't back, then he'll blame Jimmy. I think the story here is how does Roman. I think Roman sets up an impossible task for them to make them become disenfranchised or in some sort. I just don't think. To me, it would not be clean if Jay was back, but he was back for Roman and not Jimmy. Jay should be
Yeah, that's
back
what I'm
for Jimmy.
saying.
Jay should be back for Jimmy only. You know what
That's
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying. It. I hope it's that way because it doesn't make any sense to be back for Roman. It really doesn't.
Right. Unless he was manipulated to do so. So I'll
Get this
see.
nigga. It's
We'll
Jordan
see.
Lowe's, baby.
Them shits look ugly, by the way.
They're ugly. I don't know why that whole family wear them.
Them Jordan Lows are ugly as fuck. But yeah, no, I thought tremendous ending to Raw to a really great show. This Mania card is shaping up to look as major as we expected it to be for the city that it's in, and I thought it was really enjoyable shows this week. So yeah,
It's both really enjoyable shows. Um, we got a big episode of NXT coming tonight. NXT Roadblock.
yeah,
Uh, it's gonna be good. So make sure you guys tune into the War Report this week because they're gonna be going over. I'm sure they'll be going over Revolution. I'm sure they'll be going over Dynamite, and they'll be going over NXT Roadblock. All big shows that are happening this week that you guys can tune into. So make sure you guys tune into the War Report this week. New episode of the Black Print.
yeah.
Check it out.
That's out.
Okay.
A really good conversation this week. Check it out.
All right. I'm gonna tune into on my walk after we get this done.
I think you'll
New
enjoy it.
episode.
I think you'll enjoy it. It's very very adult. Not like
Absolutely.
in content, but in substance.
Well, you won't enjoy this episode of Lookout because we're talking about Attack on Titan spoilers that you're not going to
I'm not,
watch until
I'm not
it's in
listening.
English.
Yeah, I'm not listening.
um, that's fine. But make sure you guys tune into the Lookout this week as well. Make sure you guys tune into Black Variant, of course. Make sure you guys tune into Damn, we got any other shows going on? I don't know. Tune
Oh,
into
Recut Gems is back, so make sure you check out Recut Gems too.
Recut Gems is back. Make sure you subscribe to the Black Print YouTube so you can check that out, and subscribe to the A Show YouTube and everything A Show as well. We got A Show stuff coming up. It's Mania season. Everyone's feeling the fire. Everyone's feeling anticipation. If you're going to WrestleMania, that's fire.
That's good for you.
Yeah, good for you, essentially, because broke. But
No, Meelz is not broke. All right, let's get out of here.
first of all, you in the same boat as me. We both gotta. The government is knocking on our door and saying,
talking about pocket.
Give it back.
Nigga.
Give it back.
You like them reimagined threes, nigga? All right, bet. Let me reimagine your fucking wallet.
Take us home.
All right, we love you guys. We'll see you guys next week on the A Show. We're only 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. Peace.